The Battlefront Network, giving you your daily dose of Battlefront content.
Hello everybody and welcome back. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and we are here with another Star Wars Battlefront discussion. Now, from the title you are probably thinking, why on earth am I talking about downloadable content and exclusives? Because the game hasn't even been released yet and we hardly know anything about it. Well, it's quite an important topic because a lot of games out there have been destroyed by DLC and exclusives being shoved down the consumers' throats. Now, with Battlefront, I'm hoping that DICE releases the game fully with everything they could possibly add into the game, and then thinks about DLC afterwards rather than thinking about it now whilst making the game. Now, back in the day, games were sold as themselves, fully made and fully complete, whereas today they are made and sold in parts as DLC. Now, hopefully, EA and DICE don't go down that route and decide that Battlefront is going to be a success, and so decide to sell it in parts just to earn a bit more revenue. Now, they can sell the game fully and make it fully polished off, complete, and it works perfectly, and it will be a great game if they do that. And once they've done that and the success is there and they know it's done well, then they can start to think about DLC for the game, and they can really work hard on that DLC just to give players something more to play on the game. But if they're thinking about it now, DLC for the game because they think it's going to be a success, it's going to really ruin the game because the previous two Battlefront games, they were sold completely as themselves without DLCs. And there are mods available for those games, and they are absolutely fantastic, and if you haven't already seen it yet, I made a video the other day talking about mods for the new game, so please feel free to check that out. But hopefully DICE does decide to make the game complete and then think about DLC after. Now, the Clone Wars era is a very big question on a lot of people's minds of whether it will be available in the actual game. Now, if it isn't, and the game is focused more on the Galactic Civil War and a few elements from the new Star Wars 7 film, maybe DICE could think about adding it as DLC. But of course, a lot of you would like to see the Clone Wars era added into the main game anyway on release. But if DICE were to add it as DLC, if they're not going to add it in the main game, that would present the opportunity for people who want to play the Clone Wars era in the game to download it, and the people who don't particularly like it don't have to download it. So then they can just play the Galactic Civil War and the Star Wars 7 elements. So that would kind of get rid of any tension there, people who don't like the Clone Wars and people who do in the game. And I don't think they should have extra maps and just little attachments or skins for characters as DLC, because they could just add all of that into the main game anyway when it releases. They can't just sell it in parts. That would just be stupid and would affect the game completely and would kind of ruin it. So they have to, if they are thinking about DLC for the game, which they probably are, they'll have to find a way of presenting really cool and entertaining stuff that couldn't just be added in the game anyway. So for example, an add-on to the campaign, an entire different story to experience, some new maps, but that would hopefully come along with a new campaign story, some new vehicles that we could see, along with new maps, not just on their own, but with other things as well. So the DLC wouldn't just be little things that they could add in the game. It would be really big and awesome things to further the experience of Battlefront. And if any of you have ever played Halo 4, they have a Spartan Ops mode where they released new missions each week, I think. I'm not sure how it works, I've forgotten. But the Spartan Ops was like a weekly, monthly thing where they would add on to the campaign with a new story that players could experience by playing these missions and experience these cutscenes for this extra story. So hopefully DICE can release something like that, either weekly or as one whole thing, an entirely new story that adds on to the main game's campaign that could then link into another Battlefront game, which they will probably release, so a new Battlefront 2 reboot that follows on from the first new reboot. But hopefully they can do something like that, because I would love to see that, and I don't want to see any little things sold as DLC that could already be in the game anyway. But let me know what you think in the comments section below about that. Now, exclusives. At the E3 2014 event, a few people were expecting to see Star Wars Battlefront on the Xbox One stage, and I was actually anticipating seeing it there as well, because the schedule kind of made out that it would be there, but it wasn't. It was on the Electronic Arts bit. But a lot of people were saying that if it is on the Xbox One stage, there might be exclusives for the console, or there might be exclusives for the PS4. Now let me just say this, there should never be any exclusive for a Battlefront game. Never, ever, ever. No exclusives for a console or PC, no special things that you can get by having one or the other. No, it has to be the same on everything. Every platform has to be the same, it has the same stuff, so everyone can experience the same game, doing the same things and have lots of fun. Because if the Xbox One has an exclusive for Battlefront, and you can't get it on the PC or the PS4, that's just going to ruin it, because more people on the Xbox One might be having some more fun with that exclusive than they are on the PS4 and PC. So it has to be all the same, the same story, the same things, and we can all play together and have lots of fun. And then when the DLC comes out, you know, maybe one can release earlier on a console, like the Xbox One, release earlier than they are on the PS4 or the PC. I think I'd be okay with that, but let me know what you think in the comment section below. The DLC should all be the same size, the same make and release for the game for everyone to enjoy. So no exclusives, and the DLC has to be something they can't already have had in the game, which could have been put in there in the development stage. So let me know what you think in the comment section below about downloadable content and exclusives for the game. And yeah, until next time, goodbye.